This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
E aí galerinha do YouTube, aqui é o Cazuluc falando e vamos com uma gameplay de Stanley Parable. Stanley Parable é baseado num mod que é de grátis.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
Cala a boca!
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
No.
Stanley waited. Hours passed.
Tá
Days.
bom, caralho.
And years
Abre a
gone
porta.
by, he no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Bom, por essa eu não esperava, gente. Bom, vamos ver o que dá, né? Eu ia explicar o jogo, mas deu merda. Bom, acho que vamos sair daqui, vai. Bom, o jogo é baseado num mod de...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
merda, não consigo
coworkers.
pular. Opa, desliguei. Esfadia, Rizão. Bom, o jogo se passa de um mod de Half-Life, ou Girls Mod, não me lembro. E é a partir de um trabalhador, como vocês puderam ver na historinha, que ele simplesmente não recebe ordens durante um tempo. E quando ele sai do escritório dele, não tem absolutamente mais ninguém no escritório. Como vocês estão podendo ver aqui, não tem nenhum rastro dos caras. Então, nós temos um narrador que vai decidir a história de acordo com os movimentos. Nós vamos tentar não cagar, ou seja, vamos cagar na história, certo? Pá, desliguei. Eu já joguei algumas vezes, mas eu ainda acho muito divertida. Tá, coloquei o input, e aí? Vai chorar? Tá. Que isso? Username, access. Desliguei. Haha, otário. Deixa eu ver. Ih, cara, pra onde que a gente veio? Vamos seguir por aqui. Não, pera aí, a gente acabou de sair daqui, merda. Muito bem, nós temos a entrada ali. Muito bem, não dá pra apertar mais. Vamos ver aí o que dá a história, né? Não joguei direito. Muito bem, eu tô perdido aqui nesse lugar macabro.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Vamos entrar na porta da direita. Só porque a zoeira never stops.
Way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Só pra admirar mesmo. Não dá pra abrir nada. Tô ficando bolado. Olha que lugar legal.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
É, mas o bagulho não vai, né? Travou, não tem moeda, o Stanley é pobre. Caralho. Tá. Vamos seguir por aqui.
Yes, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
À esquerda ou a gente segue reto? Vamos seguir reto, só porque a zoeira never ends.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Vamos seguir por aqui. Tá. Penalidade por usar mal o elevador de carga, $1000. Penalidade por pular do elevador de carga, $5.000. Você paga $5.000 se você não morrer, tá, galera? Só tenta não morrer quando você pular dessa altura.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Tá bem, né?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Ué, não posso decidir não, filho da
I'm not
puta.
asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her? Quem? Quem é ela?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Ih, temos um mistério,
She's
galera.
been waiting.
Será que é minha dignidade que ele tá... Não! Abre! Será que é minha dignidade que ele tá falando? Ah, não vou ver Steam agora não. Tá mó legal esse jogo. Pá, pá. Tá. Ai, meu Deus.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Cara, não, vou tirar da tomada essa porra, não!
Stanley picked up the phone. A white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, you just unplugged the phone. No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Peraí, eu plugo de novo, cara.
It's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it
O que você
sooner?
percebeu mais
You're
cedo?
not Stanley. You're a real person.
Ai, meu Deus, ele descobriu.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation?
Ah, depende,
well, I
viu?
won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly.
Não, 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 para não, filha da puta.
Please observe this.
Não, eu não quero ver vídeo, porra. Não!
Choice.
Cusão.
It's the best part of being a real person. But
Caralho.
if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous.
Eita.
For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
Ai, caralho. Galera, eu acho que se a gente não fizer certo, agora a gente vai ser executado, mano, pelo narrador. Vamos fazer esse bagulho certo.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Tá bom. Muito bem, tá bom então. Eita
Welcome
porra.
back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been.
Caralho.
This way, please.
Ai, meu Deus. Galera, vamos fazer o bagulho certo, senão a gente vai levar um tiro.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Então. Vamos lá. Vamos seguir por aqui. O cara tá tipo expurgando a gente. Deixa eu ver, primeiro na porta à esquerda, né? Que eu passei, então a gente tem que voltar lá.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Tá bom então, né?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Não, a gente vamos fazer esse bagulho direito. Ah, não deve abrir porta nenhuma aqui, mano, pelo amor de Deus.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Então vamos lá, né? Como resolver uma disputa com um colega de trabalho? Merda, volta ali, cara, ele tá valendo. Ah, depois a gente vê isso. Muito bem.
Coming to a
Escada pra baixo
staircase,
não dá.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Vamos lá. Tá bom, né?